Hi friends! Well, I'm trying to figure out that iPhone here. So I'm trying to figure out where everything is going to be here. Hopefully they'll start seeing that I am streaming. There we go. There, now I'm live. I'm gonna put this on Facebook here. So isn't this so much fun? So here we go. I was trying to get everybody up on my page, so hopefully people will see it now. And we'll put one more post over here. So much fun. All right. Well, while this is streaming, let me go back in. Let's see. I have to kind of rig this in a certain way. I was kind of hoping if I created an event that it would show up, but now, there we go. It looks like there's going to be a little delay. Let me fix this real quick. I want this to come up a little bit. So sorry, I'm getting this kind of figured out. All right, it looks like there's going to be a little delay on all of this. So I'm going to continue to go on with the video even though there's a little delay. So hopefully it's not a delay on your end. So thank you for coming, and this is the painting that we are doing today. This is what I call the Sycamore Falls Foilage. This is done with the black and white underpainting with white gesso, black acrylic that we made gray. So isn't that just beautiful? So we're going to put this away, and we're going to get out the next, our other black and white. This is what I had done earlier in the preparation for doing this video. So the preparation video. So to get started, I went ahead and I have all the paints together on the paper plate. So we have bright red, burnt sienna, burnt umber, burnt sienna, ultramarine, phthalo blue, sap green, medium yellow, ochre, and titanium white. So those are our colors for tonight. You'll also need mediums such as, this is what I have, linseed oil in here. I have Galkyd Lite. This is what I use for drying my portraits just a little bit faster. So we'll also be using a 2-inch blender brush, a palette knife. This is a 3/4 inch flat brush. This is a 1-inch flat brush. This is an 8 Filbert because it has the little rounded edge. And then this is the fan brush. So this is what we're going to be using today. And you want to go ahead and get a little bit of your Galkyd Lite. If you have that, if you want to dry it a little faster, it's not necessary. But I'm in Branson, Missouri right now. So I kind of want my things to dry a little faster because I'm not sure how long I'm supposed to be here. So I was only supposed to be here for a few weeks, and it's come down into a little bit longer than that, which is okay. So you just want to get a little bit of your linseed oil or a clear medium, and you want to cover your whole entire canvas. So with this, you want to just have a nice even coat all the way around. And this is, again, the background on here is white gesso with acrylic mixed in to make our own gray acrylic. So just want a nice even coat. And I'm trying to figure out some ways to, I'm in an RV park in Branson, Missouri right now. So none of my stuff is here, but I still want to continue to do painting. It gets kind of lonely here. Working with some great people, doing some other different things. We, you know, we get a little bit lonely, and lonely for family, lonely for, you know, my own horses. So go ahead and just cover that real good. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take a paper towel, and just to make sure that it's evenly distributed and that it doesn't have any excess anywhere. So cover that all the way around just like that. Perfect. So you want to put, I use baby oil to clean my brushes, and you just dip it into your baby oil and then put it on a paper towel and kind of squish it out, and it'll clean your brush. And then clean my brush in between paintings, between today and yesterday, but I'll give them a good cleaning after we're done. We'll bring this down just a little bit. So with this towel, we're going to go ahead and just kind of wipe it down. We don't want a lot on here. We just want a nice even coat. So this prevents you from having too much, and if you have too much, then your painting will fall. Like if you are using an easel with your panel or your canvas upright, you will see if you have too much because your paint will be running down it. So this will ensure an even distribution. So now we want to take your, I'm using the 1-inch brush like we did to put on here, and I'm going to go into my yellow. Just really nice. You just want to even coat into your paintbrush. And you want to just go into the center and go around. Now you can do whatever you want on your painting. This is what I'm doing on mine. We're just going to start with the yellow and go all the way around. Now this is going to be my light source. I'm going to come back with white, but right now I just want to come all the way around, just like so. There you go. And the more that you scrub this in, the more lighter it will become. So if you don't want this to be too bright in the middle, you just keep blending it out. Here you go. Perfect. So now I'm just going to go into a little bit of the red and just a little tiny bit. We'll just work it out into the plate. I love art on the budget because there's so many different things that you can do. So I'm just going to go on the outside and use all the excess first. And then you're going to do the crisscross strokes around this. So this way you get a little bit more even distribution without getting too dark in one area if you don't want it too dark. So just the crisscross strokes. So I've covered my table with wax paper. I thought that would be kind of cool. I bought it and I really didn't need to have it, but I'm going to use it tonight to cover my table in my RV. I'm not used to RV living, so this is pretty new to me, but it's been pretty nice. Right now we are working with snow and cold, so I've been kind of cold. I had to run to Walmart to get some stuff yesterday, and then I was sure glad I was getting it because, you know, the weather is really changing a lot here. So without cleaning your brush, I went around and did the red. I want to go into Phthalo Blue, and I'm going to skip my Ultramarine because I kind of put this in the wrong order. Ultramarine is actually more dark than Phthalo Blue. This is Reeves Oil Paints. So I'm not used to using them, but I think this is great to, you know, get them a good try out to see how I like them. And so far, most everything is kind of really nice in what I call dry. For using wet on wet technique, that it's good to have some drier paints. So this is really nice for the drying. And what I mean with the drying is that it's easier to lay out and build on top of the oil to do different layers. So like right now we actually have like 2 different layers of underpainting. Now we're doing 1 layer of 3 different colors for the next layer. So as we build with oils, the thicker it is on the bottom, the lighter it will become on the top. And you keep that idea when you're building with oils, because then it cures nice. It takes at least a year, but you know, honestly, oil paintings, they cure for years. So the more, what they call the fat layer, the heavier layer on the bottom that we just put, you know, was putting down right now, the better, so that the oils don't shrink. They will stay on your canvas longer. So much fun. Okay, so now I'm going to go into the darker ultramarine, and I'm just going to go into these corners right here, and just down the side, and then just down here, just wherever is really black, that's where I want to go. So this is going to keep us from having to use black. That's why I don't have black in our palette today, because we are using the darker colors and we use the darker gesso. I can put a little bit here. Then down in here is going to be our water, but we have all the leaves reflecting in here. So my other one turned out pretty good. So we probably can do a couple of different things that will be better, and give you some other different tips. There we go. So now you want to clean your brush. So you pat it in your paper towels, just like this, and then you want to dip it into the baby oil. Seeing how it just comes right off. So I don't use odorless thinner unless I need to have some kind of a separation with paint while I'm painting. So here we do this. There we go. And then we're gonna take our blender brush. So you want to get out another paper towel. So the paper towel is like this. And you want to start from the center and go out and clean your brush. Center, go out, clean your brush. And just keep going down. We're just gonna kind of blend these a little bit together. And out, and out, and out, and out, and down at the bottom. So down here we can actually go down and to the sides. So like I was saying, I wanted this to be my light source. So I'm just going to dip into clear white titanium and just put that in the center. And then I'm just going to work out, and I'm just tapping along, just how it taps into the leaves. Now, I kind of want a lot of the grays in the back to kind of show through so that you can see that this is a covered. But there's just a little bit of light coming through. So I want this to be really light. Alright, so next we're going into doing some mixing. So you want to get your palette knife, and I got plenty of paper plates. So what we're going to do is we're going to put some burnt umber, some burnt sienna, some of this dark blue, and we're going to mix that together. So you want to pick it up off of the paper plate, and you want to just go back and forth on it. There we go. Just like that. We kind of want it dark, because when you do oils, you kind of want to have an underpainting. So that's what we're going to do. And we're just going to add a little white. See how pretty that is? And there's blues and browns in there. So we want to have a lighter color towards the back. We're going to put them in here. So that's why we're adding some white to show some distance. Things that are further in back are lighter in color. So isn't that pretty? So we're going to put that there. Clean off your palette knife so that's ready for the next time. And then we're going to take our 1-inch brush, and you don't need to clean it or anything. We just going to go in, and we're going to load up that beautiful blue color. And then we're just going to pop it in. Just pop, 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 pop. And it's going to pick up some of the color underneath, and that's okay. We're just going to pop some of that in. And we're going to pop some in back here. What I like about fall is that there's so many different colors. And this is a very beautiful blue color. And we can just add so much into it. So you can put a little bit down in here. And then now you want to pick up just a little bit of that Galkyd color. And we're going to go straight into yellow. And we're going to pull out some ochre and just a little bit of white. So again, we're going to get that nice feeling of the leaves changing. And we're just going to pop in there. And just, wherever you think those leaves are going to be changing on your tree. You want to leave a little of the blue and a little of the dark, because that's going to give your painting interest. There we go. So you can push, and you can get some really interesting colors in there. So on some of these, I'm going to put a little bit pinks in there. I think that's really pretty. There we go. So if you're left-handed, you can change your paintbrush and you can go the other way. There we go. I'm going to add some more red to that. So this will look like really far away. And once we get all of our textures and layers, it's going to look really awesome. And I like doing things a little different too. And there's really, since these are so far back, there's really, you know, like no indication of really what kind of leaves they are yet, because there's just so far away. So now you can go ahead and clean your brush, and now I'm just wiping off the excess paint. And then I'm going to go back into this brown and this blue. But I'm going to go just a little bit darker. So a little darker than that. I'm going to just add a little medium to it. So it just moves just a little bit. There we go. Isn't that beautiful color? So now I'm going to go into some of these with it just a little darker. I really like the blues and the ultramarine color in here, because the blue and the reds, they're very contrasting. So you want to go out a little bit behind your, or in front of your light source, because it's going to show that your trees are more forward than what we just did. There we go. So I have a glare in here, so it's just kind of hard to see a little bit. There we go. Just so beautiful. Now my other painting, I had shown a friend who's been living in Arkansas all his life, and showed him this painting and that I did, and he's like, oh my gosh, it's just so beautiful. And I'm like, well, does that really look like Arkansas or Ozark Mountains? And he's like, well, I say it is. And I'm like, oh, you know, that is like the best compliment when you have, you know, the Ozark when I want to say the ranchers, or you know, the locals, when they can look at your painting and they know that we did it with them in mind. So I'm just kind of popping in a little color, and a little lighter color. And I can get a little white in here. I think it's kind of cool to, you know, use your brushes and to do the different colors. Now I'm going to make some orangey color. I'm going to make these a little darker. So I'm going to just kind of go in there. And I'm kind of using my brush down and letting it pull up, down, let it pull up, because it has all the different colors in there. And then I'm going to let it kind of go down the tree, off to the sides. And then I'm going to go into the white so it's not so harsh. And get some more of this red and yellow together. And we're going to do the other side. So if you're finding that your brush is not laying down really nice, just add a little medium to it, or if you do use the what do I want to say, odorless, or yeah, the brush cleaner, you can do that too. I just kind of went to a different route on how to clean my brushes and what I use. There we go. So now I'm going to go into some green and some yellow, and I'm going to put a little bit of bright yellow and green and kind of stick them here and there, because we may have some foliage that's not quite turned yet. There we go. Just kind of like that. And it's kind of nice that we don't have to put too much black in here, because we already have the black in here. Now you can also use your fan brush, and I'm just kind of mixing a little bit with the green and yellow, and I'm just going to come down here. So you get a little bit of delay of the land when you do that, which is really great, because we want to show that we're going down into the water in here. So with the water in mind, we can go into making, we get the brown and a little sienna. We're going to add a little red to it, and we're going to mix that. So we're going to, and this is burnt sienna, burnt umber, and red together. And we're going to do some lands. So you want to spread out your color, and then you want to put your knife in here. And we're going to kind of start over here and kind of go in on the sides. You kind of do a little riverbank. And it doesn't matter exactly where you put it. Right in here is where I'm gonna have maybe an indication of a little land back there. I really like wet on wet, because you can get away with so much. If you don't like something, it's really easy to cover stuff up. So when you're doing land and water by, like a lake or a pond, it's important to keep your water straight across. There you go. I'm going to do some indications over here and just kind of let your colors, we can even start getting some highlighting colors in here too. Kind of like to use up all of my paint, and this is just a really great way to use up some of the leaves that we used. And you just put little indicators on the sides, and we're going to cover a lot of this up again with some leaves and some brush. There we go, just like that. And we got some land over here. I like painting with the knife. It seems pretty easy for me to do. A lot of people, they really have to learn a lot how to use it. But a lot of my paintings when I was younger were with a palette knife. So using it is actually pretty fun for me. So now I'm going to go into some lighter color and put some back here. There we go. I just see that my video is really not working, so I just want to keep working and get this part done. So now we have that done. And I'm gonna go ahead and clean my fan brush. Just like that. And I want to go into a little bit of this blues that is on here and kind of reflect a little bit on what's in the trees. So I'm just going to put a little bit in here, not a lot. So this is a little different from my other painting. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take this flat brush, it's dry, and we're just going to drop it. So you're just dropping the color just down. And I'm going a little bit into some of the lands in here too. So if it feels like it's getting a little muddy, just clean off your brush. And then you can lightly go back and forth. And if you don't like something, well, take your paper towel and clean it up. So maybe I didn't like, all of that in there. So I'm going to just, take some and I'm just going to wipe a little bit out. And that's where, everything is so forgiving with wet on wet technique. So if you don't like it, there you go, clean it up. So just like that. So I'm going to go ahead and use the palette knife. I'm going to take some of the white and I'm putting it on this other paper plate with some of this Galkyd and medium. And I'm just going to make it just a little bit runny so that I can do some highlights back here. See how runny that is? And this will make my water look like it's moving. And you want to keep your water horizontal. So if you kind of don't like, the thick blob back here, we're going to move some of that up and I'll show you how to get rid of that. It's really quick and easy. We're going to keep using that. You want to put a little line. There you go. And I'm going to keep the water going all the way down in here. So if you don't like this line right here, you just bring it down, bring it down, bring it down, bring it down. And you just keep bringing it down until you get where you want your line to be. And then if you don't like the other part, just bring it down. You want just a little bit of reflection in here. So you kind of bring it down so that you can see a little bit of that yellow of the light source that is right here. So it looks like, there's like a little waterfall there now. So I work at with the Pot of Gold Western Adventures, and this reminds me of the sycamore trees that are down there. So that's why we have the whites and the timbers, and it's just really cool down there. Very beautiful. So then I'm just going to go with a dry brush and just go back and forth. Just kind of get it so that it looks like everything is reflecting. and it kind of takes off extra paint if you don't want it there. There we go. Just like that. So the water down here is not always blue. Sometimes it's green and sometimes it's churny and brown like this. So I kind of really am liking how this is coming out. So with my 1-inch brush, I'm going to go into some blue, some phthalo blue. I'm going to pick up some white and some yellow. And I'm just going to come in here and do a little bit over the hanging here. And this, I kind of like the concept part, that leaves don't have to really form a whole lot. It looks like leaves are in there. So this is like distant leaves. And then when you go into the real dark, you can go into the darker part. And then bring your brush so it comes to a point. And then you can do some more down in here. And Phthalo Blue and Ultramarine are kind of like really transparent, so you can really see what's behind them. There we go. We got some really nice little foliage going here. So I'm gonna go back into my fan brush and pick up some white. And sorry, my palette gets so messy. There we go. And then I want to just keep going, so you can put your brush, like, just hit it and do your brush going down, or you can just kind of pat it. Now this might not leave a whole lot of color, but I'm gonna blend it in here, and then we're gonna add more color to it. So now I'm gonna go into the green, and into the yellow, and then into the white, and then just kind of drop in a little color. And I'm going to drop a little bit back there. If you feel like your brush is getting a little dirty, you can always clean your brush. You want to blend in your lands. There we go. There we go. Looks nice. I do see one thing, is my water over here is kind of jumping. Don't want your water to jump. And this is not exactly how I want that, so we're just going to rub that off. See how easy that is? All right. So I'm going to hold this up so you can see it a little bit. I really love the blue. Get some more yellow in there. And a little green and red. We're kind of adding dimension. There we go. And we want to do a little bit up in here. It's like, how do I want my trees to look? And I'm going to add some red into it, because it's been hit a little bit by Jack Frost. Add a little white. There we go. So you can do your leaves however you want. This is just one way that you can use the brush. And I'm not using like the typical brushes that I'm used to, so I'm just doing it something a little different. There, when you put a darker color down, you could go over it with white. Or into a yellow. Okay, so we have that done, and if I can find my script liner. If I can find my script liner. I guess my script liner decided it was going to bail on me. Alright, so we're going to go into some of this burnt sienna and burnt umber mix. And just, we're going to put everything back into the tip of the brush, since I can't find my script liner. So we're going to just do kind of like little indications of trees. They're not going to be too fancy. Some of this may not even work with this. It's too thick. I'll just blame it on my umber. But when that fails, we'll just use the palette knife and can do different things and scratch them in. So you can use this tip and put a roll of paint on there, and then you can do indications of trees and their trunks. So I see one right there, and I see one right there, and we can do some up in there, and then this they'll start looking more like the trees. There we go. And then a little bit for the sticks. And we have some trunks right here already. So we'll just kind of go over it a little bit there. And then some in here for just indicators. There we go. I think we'll put a little bit right there. There we go. So then you want to go into the lighter color, the white. And I'm going to switch paper plates here. And our light source is coming from this direction. So we want to hit our light source on this side. And some people put in their trees, trunks, when they do the leaves, and you can do that too. There is like no written rule on how to do your trees. And these are sycamores, so a lot of them have a lot of white near the top. So on this side, I'm gonna kind of be a little creative here and sit down and do this. There we go. You can just kind of play with your palette knife and just remember where your light source is coming from. There we go. And one day I'll find my script liner, because my script liner would do so much better. So I really hope people are actually watching this video, because on my end it shows that it stopped again. So we'll have to get this kind of figured out. There you go. Oops. And then we can put in little other indicators. And just taking the palette knife, and you can just scrape off as well too, for the trees that are in the back, or maybe you got some sticks back here, and then I'm gonna just put an indicator of some sticks in the back. Oh, I really love these colors. There you go. So there you have it. You have a really beautiful fall photo and paint. And let me hold this up so I can see it. I want to clean this brush. And I just want to finish the water. So when you go back and forth, and then you want to drop it down. There you go, kind of looks like a little waterfall right there. And then just ever so gently. There we go. And there's your water. So I hope that y'all have learned something and can take this into your own painting world. If you have any questions, just, you know, give me a shout. I am working pretty full time with Pot of Gold, but I can answer any questions that you may have. There we go. Kind of like wrap some of these little indicators of trees kind of around, kind of smooth them out a little bit. So yeah, if you have any other questions, any critiques, let me know. I'd love to hear from people, and please share your work. I would love to see what you're working on. I am on Lynn Michelle on Facebook, on Instagram, I'm horse_wisp_er for Instagram, and also on Twitter. So I would love to see more, and until then, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you so much for joining me.